Hi, I'm Olga. I'm an artist. Welcome to my channel Nomad Sketchbook. And today I want to share with you one technique that I enjoy a lot because it's really fun and easy. And even if you are a complete beginner, you can try it out. The idea is that you can actually draw anything using this technique without actually drawing it. I will explain what it means. We will start with analyzing light and shadow, and what we're going to use is basically the shadow. So we are not going to do the outline, that's how we normally start, right? But we're going to focus more on the shadow of our object, anything that we want to draw. And you will see that it is actually quite easy, and apart from creating a really fun drawing, it will help you improve understanding of the volume of how to draw and depict light and shadow. So I hope you enjoy this process, and just prepare a piece of paper and a pen, a pencil. Here you can choose your media. Basically, you can choose any material because we're not going to work on modeling. It will be, let's say, it will be a plain drawing. So as I said, it will be really easy. So just prepare your favorite material and let's start.
So we are ready to start. These are the materials I will use today. I have my sketchbook, some drawings, and so it has very nice texture. It is not completely smooth, which I like. It adds a special touch to any drawing. Apart from that, we have... So here I have two pencils, and I just wanted to show you the difference. This one is sharpened with a simple pencil sharpener, and this one with a paper cutter. And this one, I like it much more, as it gives much more freedom when it comes to drawing. So I will be using this one. This pencil, I would probably keep it for details or something very small to work on. So a rubber and an electric rubber, which is also very cool, especially when you want to highlight something. So as I was saying, today I want to show you one technique which I find really cool. So, first of all, as I said, we're going to use the shadow to draw an object. And I would like to start with a quick explanation just to make sure that we are all on the same page. So, let's imagine we have a pier. I just love piers, so it will be my explanation object. And let's imagine the light is falling from this side, which means all this side, the left side of the pier, will be the light area. And the other side, the opposite side, will be the shadow. So it has its own shadow, right, from this side, and it is casting a shadow, which will be right here. This shadow for now is not that important. The one that I want to focus on is actually its own shadow. And something very important, here starts the important thing. If when we are searching for the area where the light side ends and the shadow starts, it is very important to find this separation line. Of course, it is not a line, we don't see it that way, but if we actually try to find it and even draw, don't press too much on the pencil, it will really help us understand the shape of the pier, because as you can see, this line it is following the shape of the object. So, what happens? Basically, to make it simple for now, I will just cover all this area with this bell. And now, as you can see, we can already understand from where the light falls. So now you can even feel this cast shadow as well to keep it more, to give the feel that it is on the surface. And here another trick for you. When you draw the cast shadow, you can always make this side that is closer to us a little bit darker. This way you will add the feel of perspective. So this side is closer to us and that side is further. Now, as I was explaining, here we have this line, the separation line, and if we wanted to work on the full study to make it more realistic, we would make it smoother, right? We would work on the values and it would take us some time. And as I was promising, today I wanted to show you something that can work and can look really cool even without working on all these shades and values. So, if you can find this line, you can actually draw an object without even drawing the rest of it. I will explain. Look, I have an object in my head and try to guess what object I'm drawing. And I'm going to draw only the shadow, all right? I'm drawing only the shadow. Can you guess what it is? So basically I did the same thing. So I would probably add something here to make it a little bit more realistic. Can you guess what it is? So, right, this is an apple, right? It could be simply like this. So I'm not drawing this part. But you see how easy it is to draw an object after that. So you can do this thing even with more complex objects, for example, a tree. So if you want to draw a tree, the important thing is to imagine that it is all one shape, like a pear or an apple. So if you have a tree, what you can do? You can start with searching for this line, and you see there it might be more, can be rougher, as a tree has its own structure, and to add the outline. So, and then I will add the tone, the value. Isn't that cool? You see, this way, first it looks unusual because you leave some space for our viewer to finish your drawing. But sometimes what you can do to make it a little bit easier to express what you want to draw, what you can do is to add some tone on the outer side of the object. So, you see this way what I'm doing. I'm not adding the outline, but I'm adding the tone from behind. So what it means? this way we can show the light. Can you see it? And you can always add the cast shadow. And the last thing I want to show you, you can use this technique even with a portrait. Especially if it is a sketch and you want just to grab some idea, or you just want to draw a quick portrait. So what you can start with, in a portrait we also have some zones that are usually in a shadow. So for example, the eye area is usually hidden in the shadow because we normally have the light coming from above. So all this area with an eye, it will be in the shadow. Then we have the area of our nose, and we have this bottom part and the cast shadow, which is also darker than the rest. Then we have the lips, right? So we can add the upper lip, which is thinner, and we can add the shadow under the lower lip. And then also we can highlight the chin. Basically it will be the shadow, and we can continue it right there and even show it on the neck, for example. And to continue, so we can also show where we have the ear, also just with the shadow. You see, I'm not adding any light or any details. So I know this one with the portrait is not easy, but I just want to show you all the potential this technique has. So you see, we have a portrait. You can guess that after all, this is a person. And this is really a cool technique because it allows you to draw something very quickly without adding any details. For example, if you want to continue the drawing later, you can take a photo or anything and continue further on. And here, for example, if I want to add it a more complete look, I can just add some details. So, for example, now I'm not thinking that much about the shadow. I will just add some hair, you see? And here we go. We have a complete sketch of a person. So you can try this technique with some simple objects. You can even start with a circle to practice a little bit more. You see, you can do the same thing. You do it with a circle. You can do it with basically anything. You can do it with a cylinder. You can do it with coffee pot. So try to experiment with this technique, and I'm sure you will like it. And let me know what you think. If you have any questions, write me in the comments below, and I will be happy to share more techniques and tips with you. So if you like this video, give it a like, and see you in my next video.